Okay, I'm here at the Data Center Transformation event and talking to Alex from Critical Facility Solutions. Just be good to understand a little bit. I think a lot of the conference is obviously about the big topics, the power, the AI and stuff like that. You're more interested, I think, in the facilities side of things. Just your thoughts, I suppose, as to whether you think the industry gives what your area, if you like, not specifically your company, but the area you focus on, sufficient attention compared to some of those other topics.
Yeah, I think it does, but a lot of it comes down to cost control. We're dealing a lot with legacy sites, so we're providing services to sites that are perhaps 10, 12, 20 years old. A lot of the time they've been repurposed, so they weren't built as data centers as such, so that presents a multitude of problems in that they're not designed to house or manage the equipment that's in them. So for us, if we're putting in raised access floor or we're delivering like an annual deep clean, things like that, the budget hasn't always been set the years in advance for us to go in and do it. A lot of people think our service is going to be cheaper than perhaps they are, because they are very specialist. So yeah, I mean, really for us, we're finding a few challenges around the legacy sites that aren't designed as data centers initially.
And in terms of the new builds, because there's a lot of building going on, whether I guess it's traditional or these big sort of AI factories that are coming along. Again, do you get engaged? Will you get engaged typically, I don't know, by the architect, consultants? Where do you come into the sort of design and build program?
Largely by the main contractors, so whoever's taken on the build. We're typically, a lot of our services come after the main mechanical, electrical, civils, so we're often the last on the list to be contacted. At the moment, if we look at our pipeline, I mean, we've got stuff we're quoting for things where nothing's happened and the company hasn't even won the bid yet, so that's maybe 3-4 years down the line for us. Other times we get called in 2 weeks before we're needed, and that presents its own challenges with regard to staffing and finding competent people to be able to go and deliver that, because you can't just have a team sat waiting to be called on. You need to keep people busy and you need to keep them in projects. And like with what happened with ISG, we had 2 teams on sites working for ISG, so that was really difficult for us because we didn't then have projects to put them on immediately. So I think that really was a bit of a shockwave for the industry that we work in, more on the construction side of data centers, in that we thought, okay, well, they're too big to fail. So you never really consider how you're going to adapt to that. But we're one of many companies that's had to. And thankfully, events like this, and I think one of the messages is, let's work together to figure out challenges in the industry. We've worked together with companies that have come in and taken on that work from ISG, and I think the feeling has gone from, okay, let's not compete here, let's try and help each other out, because everybody's in a bit of a situation. So yeah, I mean, the message from today about let's get together, discuss the industry, how companies can solve problems is a really helpful one, and I think it doesn't necessarily happen in other sectors like it does in data centers.
And just quickly, in terms of the way you get engaged, do you get people come along and say, this is what we want, deliver it to us, or do they say, we've got this problem, or how can you help us? How does that work in practice?
So one of the services we provide is installing raised access flooring. And we work with a Swedish company, so we use a different system to most, not the standard pedestal and stringer system. What we're getting more of now is inquiries where people want to put heavier racks into existing data halls, obviously with the advent of higher compute racks and heavier equipment. So we're finding they'll come to us with a problem. Okay, it needs to hold X amount of weight in one particular spot. Can you design a solution? Can you retrofit that into the shell of where it's located at the moment? Other times, we might have a very specific demand, typically from the client that's actually in those racks, and says, look, this is a standardization of what we have in other countries. We want it here. You need to deliver X, Y, Z. So it's a broad mix, really. It's still, I think, in its infancy, some of this. So people are finding their feet. Some companies are more further down the line than others, where they have standardized globally as to what they want. So yeah, a mixed bag, but it keeps it interesting, you know.
And if you had one piece of advice to give to folks when they're looking at you know the solutions that you and others provide, what should they sort of focus on, if you like, before they get started?
Early engagement, absolutely. Whether or not they do, and the best intentions, I think everybody wants to, but yeah, definitely early engagement, work on a solution together as opposed to last minute, this is what we need, do it. Yeah, that would be the dream for us.
Okay, it's been lovely to chat. Thanks for your
very
time.
much.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Thanks.